It's about time to make a start. We have the House Committee coming up. So let's get this out of the way quick. This is a joint panel meeting of the Home Affairs Panel and the Development Panel. Under the rules of procedure, we have to elect chairman. But prior to the meeting, I had a word with Mr. Wong-fat. He is otherwise engaged, so I am presiding over this meeting. Declaration of interest, ROP 1823, we have to 83A, 84. I am a member of WKCDA. I'm sure members are aware of that. And let's move on to item 2. Assembly now. Election of chairman. So you just discussed among yourselves, and that's it. Well, under 22K, if a joint committee is to be formed to scrutinize the relevant matters, then the panel's chairman will decide who is going to preside over the meeting. Since Mr. Wong-fat is otherwise engaged today, so we've decided that I will be presiding over this meeting. So there are only 2 members who will be allowed to run for the chairmanship. Well, I'm not suggesting for 1 minute that there is any deal between you. Well, it is very clearly provided for in the House rules. Right, let's get down to the next item. Well, last year, on the 14th of December and the 7th of this month, we had meetings, and we've decided that under the 2 panels, we appoint a joint subcommittee to follow up on the development of the WKCD under 22U1. The terms of reference is to be decided by the relevant panels on specific issues, and 22U2 provides that the terms of reference, the work plan and the timetable should be included, and 26C provides that 12 months after the work has started, the work should be completed and a report should be made to the House. And if necessary, if it has to be extended after 12 months, the subcommittee will need to secure the support of the House Committee before an extension is possible. In fact, the Secretariat has put together a paper, that is CB2 for 59/12-13/01. So there we have all the terms of reference, the work plan and the timetable and so on. I'm sure the members have received the paper beforehand. Any questions? Also, just a reminder that the under 26A of the House rule, the number of subcommittees in action at any one time should be no more than 8. If we hit the ceiling, then the queuing system will be activated. Just a reminder that as of the 10th of January 2013, there are current in action 7 subcommittees on policies, and this is going to be the last one in the as far as the quota is concerned. Mr. Alan Leung, Chairman, the Civic Party is in support of this proposed joint committee to monitor the implementation of the West Kowloon Cultural District project. We support the creation of this subcommittee because the WKCD project will have immense implications on Hong Kong, with tremendous amount of taxpayers' money involved. We did have such a joint subcommittee in the previous term, so we support the idea of doing the same in this term. The seat hold, and then Mr. Ip Kwok Him. Chairman, like before, I support this subcommittee, but I do have some puzzles about the timing. Now, we do have the tacit understanding that a subcommittee would be there for 1 year. Now, the WKCD is an ongoing project. I'm wondering whether we should include this as part of the quota of 8. The WKCD project will not be completed within 1 year. We will definitely go beyond the time. We don't have to discuss this now. Now, by the end of the year, we can bring this up again, but I'd just like to let members know that there are 8 allowed and the quota is filled. Mr. Kwok-him, Chairman. I was Chairman of this subcommittee last term, and this is a project that the members of the public do pin high expectation on. We do see the need for such a subcommittee, so the DAB is supportive of this idea. Ms. Sit-ho made the point a moment ago. I feel also that 1 year is nowhere near enough, but we can certainly extend it subject to consensus. Thank you. Ms. Emily Lau. Yes, so we go along with the idea also because this is a significant issue which require close scrutiny. You mentioned the quota of 8, and the number currently is 7, and we should be able to make it. And we will be able to be the last one in the quota of 8. Is it correct? And para 6D of the terms of reference about the financial management. Now, they've come here before and they said that they don't have sufficient funding. The $20 billion will not be enough. Now, we will keep an eye on the dollar sign. Is it correct? Well, the Secretariat has put together the terms of reference in paragraph 5, and I'm sure that upon setting up of this committee, we can certainly revisit this. Yes, so we can jot this down and remind the joint subcommittee. Well, this is part of the 8, isn't it? This can be activated straight away. Secretary, under the House rules, the subcommittee or the panels should agree on the proposed terms of reference, the work plan, and the time frame before it will be set up. Now, if we have agreed on the TOR, then it would mean that we have activated it, and this would become the 8th. Right, we have to set it up, otherwise we don't know how long it's going to be waiting for. Mr. Christopher Zhong, 6C, the cultural software and so on is too vague. We also should include the cultural education and the development of the cultural industry. Now that WKCD is not in isolation. It covers the entire spectrum of cultural matters. Well, I do understand your intention, but as I said a moment ago, it's not time for us to engage in discussion. The TOR can be fine-tuned when the subcommittee is in action. So I would suggest that we get it up and running first. Right, any further views? Yes, please. Sally Smack. Right, FTU agrees that we should get this up and running as soon as possible, sooner rather than later, because WKCD project is so important to Hong Kong culturally, and also in terms of the development of culture in Hong Kong. We support the creation of this SC. Ms. Helena Wong, yes, we agree with that. It would be very difficult for us to monitor the situation. If we're not a member of the WKCDA, it would be very difficult. Even as LegCo members, we have to approach different departments. Not only do we have the cultural element, the infrastructure, transportation, the development in the neighboring area, the longer we put it off, the more difficult it will be for us to give our input. So we support an early creation of this subcommittee. Any further views? All right, unless you have any views, I will assume that we agree that under paras 5, 6, and 7, we endorse these paragraphs, and we decided to set up this joint subcommittee and get this up and running and make a report to the House. All right, unless there is anything else, any other business? No? All right, meeting adjourned. Thank you all very much for coming.